Hey guys, for those of you that have been keeping up with everything, you know we've been a little late on everything as far as getting another video up, but I guess we have good reason. One, not being able to find a place to sit down and actually do a video, and two, just been super busy with a lot of stuff. But we'll fill you in on everything that's gone on since the last time we checked in you or with you. Um, when we left Sebastian, we rode and had a few accidents, and that's where the whole bicycle accident happened. But then we rode into a town just below Fort Lauderdale called Dania Beach. It's such a cool place, not only for the place, but really just the people that are there that we ran into and met at this church. The church is called oh man, no, I'm gonna forget. Yeah, it's Lighthouse Community Church in Dania Beach. But anyways, we ended up how the story starts. We slept on the beach Saturday night, woke up Sunday morning for Easter service. We didn't really know where we were going or what God was going to lead us to do. So we're riding down the road, and it's breakfast time, and I'm always ready for breakfast when I wake up. And so I was just thinking, I'm like, I'm praying. I'm like, I didn't know where we were going for service. So I just, was praying, God, lead us where you want us, whether it be in a church or on the streets or in somebody's home. I don't know. Just put us where you want us. And then, of course, my mind went from that back to food. And I seen a Dunkin' Donuts, and I thought in my head, I'm like, oh, sick. Let's get some Dunkin' Donuts, some coffee, and a donut or whatever. Because we had slept on the beach and it was super cold out and windy. So anyways, then my mind shifted from that to the fact that we only had $5. So I was like, no, never mind. We're not going to go to Dunkin' Donuts. This is just my thoughts. And then Brandon speaks up behind me and he's like, hey, Corey, you want to go to Dunkin' Donuts? So I, previous to the other videos, you kind of know how I think and how God speaks. It's almost like he uses Brandon for assurance for me. So we end up going into Dunkin' Donuts, getting our coffee, sitting down up front, and a man comes up to get the paper, and ends up sitting down with us, and we started conversating about some stuff, and then he ends up talking. We ended up telling him what we were doing, and he started talking about the Lord and where he was going to church, and then he told us to go over and check their church out, which is the Lighthouse Community Church.
It's like 50 feet from it.
Yeah, it's just right down the road. And then we end up going in there, and we end up going to service, and we go into the service, and I don't know if people just didn't know how to react to the way that we smelled or looked or what, but they ended up coming up and talking to us afterwards and just seeing what we were doing, and we got a chance to explain what we were doing and where we were going and what God was doing in our lives. And it was really cool because we were sitting there, we were talking and to these men, and a young lady comes up to us and she goes, I kind of got wind of what you guys were doing, and I want to give you this. And she ends up giving us like what, $40 or $60, yeah, which was really cool because, like I said, we had $0 left,
And it's funny because we never mentioned anything about it, It's just, you can definitely tell God's had, that was totally a God thing, So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we ended up talking to a man named Carl, and Carl is involved in a really cool ministry they have going on. It's called Hands Extended. Yeah. It's
we went to the homeless shelter first.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that night we ended up sleeping at the homeless shelter in Broward, and so that was cool. We got to talk to a bunch of really cool, a lot of cool people. We were able to share with them what we were doing because we were wearing our shirts, and a lot of them just kept asking like, "How long have you been homeless?" Like that's the thing to ask, and we kind of told them what we were doing, and a lot of them, were like cool, and so we definitely got to talk to them about even Christ, So that was pretty cool. And then we ended up that morning. We got out of there at like 7 because they asked everyone to leave. So then we went to the Hands Extended, and we really got to hang out with those people for like, I don't know, all day. It was really cool. They're just really, really cool people. Just, it's like you look, I don't know. It's awesome. it's awesome. Just the love that they had for us. It was just really cool. So we did that, and so we were doing that, and Carl and his wife Cora were really, really cool. They let us stay in their house, but there was these Canadian French people. Uh,
Quebecers.
yeah, Quebec.
Michelle and Francine, and they invited us to stay in their home. So we ended up staying in their home, and conversating with them and learning from them, and just really taking
Really
in what
cool.
they had to say. And it was really cool, because something I didn't know, I found out, is that it's illegal to practice Christianity out in public. In Quebec,
Yeah.
you cannot read a Bible, you can't profess the name of Jesus Christ, you can't do anything out in public or you'll be arrested, which really hit me pretty hard. And they were super excited about what we were doing, and they were like, we need people up in there in Quebec, because people don't even know like who Jesus is, not alone like have a relationship with them. They don't know who Jesus Christ is and what he did. They don't even, you say Jesus to somebody and they said that they don't know who that is. And so we just got a lot of time to talk with them. And the next day we ended up waking up,
going to a Bible study. It was really cool. They're just like a big family. It's awesome to see.
Yeah.
So we went and did that, and then we packed our bags from. We went back to them, and we hung out with them all day and ate dinner and stuff with them. So that was really cool. So we hung out with them. We ended up staying the night there, like he said, Corey was saying, and then the next morning we woke up for a prayer meeting. They had like a prayer meeting, a bunch of men, and so we went to that, and then we packed our stuff up, and we thanked them, and we left that night
and headed to Cora and Carl's, because they invited us over to their house, and we got to go over there and kind of share with them a little bit. Not much, because it was kind of late, and then we stayed the night there, and then the next morning we woke up. We got to be able to. We met a man named Paul. He's he does homosexual and what's it called?
He's like a pastor counselor there.
Yeah, he's a counselor, and he works with like homosexuals and accountability groups, and it's really cool thing what they're doing over there, because they have something for everyone, and it's like Brandon said, they just take you in like your family like we're
dude.
really brothers, and it's really cool to see that, because like I was telling them, you don't see that too often in a church. You don't see the love that God shows us, and that same love we should be sending out to other people, and you just don't see that much, and it was really cool to see that. It was very refreshing. And then the next day we ended up coming home that night, and then the next morning we ended up staying at Carl's and them's that night, and then Carl and Cora's, and we got a lot of time to share with them, and they're just super on fire for God. That whole church is just super on fire for Christ, and it was just so cool to see that, that they're always wanting to learn and do and just teach. It's really
Tuesday
cool.
night they have like a faith-based AA like NA meeting, so that was cool. We got to go to that and listen to it's just cool to see that you can go to an AA meeting, but it's like this guy, he goes around to he does an AA meeting every day. I mean, yeah, every day in the evening, and he does it, so it's like faith-based. They call it, I guess, AA terms is white knuckling it if you don't believe in Christ or anything like that. If you just do it by yourself, so they what's the word? So it's so you don't have to white knuckle it, and it's like a really cool ministry. And then after that, we went home, and then we got to hang out. We went to bed and we hung out with Carl and Cora, and we ended up staying in their house 3 days. We went to Wednesday night, and they do like a Bible study there, the adults, and then they have like a youth group. So we got to talk to the youth group and tell them what we were doing, and just we spoke on what we were doing, and are we living what we're saying we're doing? Are we really Christians, or are we just saying, yeah, I'm a Christian, I go to church on Sunday, or they're the CEOs. Are we all CEOs? And it's funny, if you don't know what CEO is, it's Christmas
and Easter only.
Yeah, and so, it's just like, are we doing that? Are we just, saying, oh yeah, I'm a Christian? But you know, it was really cool to see the love those people have. I just like I can't explain it. You know, it's awesome. It's really really cool.
Yeah, and it goes back to too the way they're constantly studying, constantly, they're constantly submerging themselves in the Word. And something Paul brought up is, you know, um, an infant is going to be an infant as long as it's being spoon fed. But until you pick up that spoon and you start feeding yourself, that's when you'll start to grow. That's when you'll start to develop. That's when you'll start to really be able to show fruit and really grow in the Word, and in your relationship with Christ, is when you start going out and doing these things, you know, involving yourself in the Word. And that it was just a really good experience going through there. Just like such a awesome thing to be able to see people. You know, they're hitting it right on the head, and they're trying for it, and they're trying to be disciples, and they're trying to be real
It's
Christians.
not really even they're trying; they are.
Yeah, it's true.
It's showing. It's just like I can't even explain it. It's just you walk in the doors, and like even though Corey and I were like smelling like 3 days without a shower, you know, it's just like these people were giving us hugs. It was like the gentleman that we stayed at his house, Carl. He goes, I went there for 2 months. He's like, he goes, you know, I first walked in there. He goes, is this real?
Is these people fake? What's
going on?
Yeah,
and it's like I see what he's saying. It's just like everyone loves everyone there. It's just really really cool. But yeah, so we did that for about 4 days. We left there Thursday. We started headed to the Keys. We slept. We got down.
We went through Miami. We rode down through Miami. Didn't really have much for interactions there. It's a lot of tourists. It's a lot of I don't know. We just kind of there was nothing really God was leading us to. Rode right down A1A, right into Homestead.